Have you ever wondered about the difference between an audiobook and the audio dramatization? If you have, stay tuned because I'm going to share with you what I just recently learned about the two.
It's going to be the intro to your book review. Right.
So I feel like within the most recent, maybe 5 years or so, audiobooks have really become popular. Like, at least for me, it has. Pandemic-ish beginning is probably when I saw myself getting more and more into listening to books. And so I have my, Audible account and everything. And they have all these other books on there that you can listen to that's included and all that. And so I stumbled upon a book called The Guilty by James Patterson, right? Now, what caught my eye was John Lithgow. Now, John Lithgow has the most distinctive and dramatic voice that I can probably think of in the acting world. Okay, well, there's probably James Earl Jones and Morgan Freeman. Okay, but anywho, y'all know what I mean. John Lithgow has a very distinctive voice, right? And so along with him, and it was like a bunch of other people that was in this book. And I'm like, oh, okay, let me see what they're talking about. Because in my head, I'm still thinking a book, an audio book. But then I start listening to it. And that is when I discovered how distinctively different it is from just a audio book, which had me trying to figure out, how do I describe exactly what it is that this is, right? So then I ended up going down this little rabbit hole, and I got to the point where I discovered this thing called audio dramatization. Okay, so here is where I discuss the difference between the audiobook and the audio dramatization, okay? So with an audiobook, you essentially have a narrator who is reading a book, right? So you literally, a book, open it up and you drop it, 3-0, dropped. I look down at the cracked sidewalk, up at the bottom of the LIRR tracks on the bridge that runs along Atlantic Avenue, at the short squat houses and post-war tenements. And so me reading this, somebody recording me and playing it for another person, audiobook, right? Well, then you have the audio dramatization. And that's where you typically have multiple actors who are verbally performing a book. You have sound effects and you have music, and it is just a whole experience. Like, imagine turning on your television and closing your eyes and listening to what is on your television screen. So you are hearing the actors say their lines. You're hearing the sound effect that's going to let you know that something suspenseful is about to happen, or that something funny just happened. You're going to be able to know if they're walking down a busy street or if they're in a cave or all that kind of stuff, right? So that is what the audio dramatization is. And so I kind of started thinking to myself, like, oh yeah, I'm familiar with this actually. Because if you've ever seen like some of those old movies and they, show you the families that get around the radio and they turn the radio up and they listen to a show, radio dramas. And that's pretty much where its basis is, the old school radio drama. Alfred Hitchcock used to have shows on the radio all the time, way back in history. But a more recent radio drama that some people may be familiar with is, what was it called? It's Your World. It's Your World, and it used to be on the Tom Joyner Morning Show. So if you're not familiar with Tom Joyner Morning Show, shame on you. He is a historic Black radio personality. He had a show on the radio syndicated for about 25 years. On his show, though, he would have these segments of It's Your World, which was like a soap opera of sorts. And clearly you had to listen to it. So, duh, it was a radio drama, essentially an audio drama. So, this isn't anything new. It's just that I'm kind of rediscovering it in recent day and learning how to really describe it. And so, now I am on the prowl for all things dramatization because, baby, you know I love my drama. I love my drama. So, I want to know if you all know of any dramatizations that you could suggest for me to listen to. Now, I'm going to tell you what I'm looking for. I want a certain genre. And I want some black people in it. Essentially, I want some black dramatizations. I want to listen to some black voices. Speaking of, there is a new website called Audiobook, where it is essentially a resource for us who are looking for audible books with black voices, black stories, by black authors. If you are someone who is interested in that niche, make sure that you check out that website, okay? And in addition to that, if you know of some dramatizations, suggest them to them and suggest them to me because I'm all ears, honey, because I am now a total fan. Granted, The Guilty was not, you know, African-American based or anything. It was still really, really good. I did enjoy it. But I want to hear some stuff by us, for us. Okay, so if you know some, go ahead and drop them in the comment section. And even if they might not necessarily be black, go ahead and put them down in the comment section if you think I'm going to enjoy it. If it was really capturing to you, go ahead and put them down in there. But let me tell you what you don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell me about none of those British ones. Like the British ones, the BBC ones. I'm straight on them. I got one. That was the second one I started trying to listen to. I ain't gonna name the title of this one. But I didn't need it. I didn't need it. So you ain't got to send me none of them. Nope. But anything else y'all think I might like sending my way? Preferably something that is included in my Audible membership because I don't want to use a whole bunch of my credits on these, okay? So, I think that's all I got. If you all want to go ahead down in the comment section and make sure that you put your suggestions down there. And did you subscribe to the channel? Or hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a video? Well, why not? Child, you better do it. I'm telling tales. Read a book. And listen to one too if you need to.